Here's my tutorial on how to draw faces. And disclaimer, there's so many good ways to draw faces, but this is the way that I do it, and it could be a way that works for you. I like to start everything that I do, specifically anatomy, with a circle. Because when you add a circle, it can ground where you want certain things to be. Just a starting base of the size, the shape, etc. I add another circle that's about half the size of the circle above it to help define the size of the head and the jawline. I then part a rough estimate of where certain features are going to be, even such as the jawline and certain lines where the eyebrows and the eyes are going to be. I personally like to turn down the opacity of my guidelines so that it's not as intense, specifically when I start lining certain features of the actual face. On another layer, I go in with more of my details. This is on a separate layer than the one with your guideline. If you want to put each of your individual distinct features, such as your eyebrows, eyes, your lips, and your mouth, on different layers, that's perfect, so you can manipulate them individually. I don't do that because that's a lot of layers. It's important to note that realistic faces, if that's what you're going for, are not symmetrical. And because this is a commission, I am actually drawing a hand over the face, but I will be doing the whole face for this tutorial as well. Continuing on my sketch, I then make a circle for where I want the nose to be. And then I also make a kind of a triangle shape and then a circle in between the eyebrows to kind of orient how big I want certain features to be. I draw 2 circles next to that middle circle, a circle in between the lips and the nose, and then I draw 4 circles for the lips as well, making sure I line the middle of the mouth. For the hair, I kind of just blob color into the shape that I want, and then add certain details such as the strands of the hair after the fact. The hair is on its own separate layer, making sure that I can manipulate it whenever I want, alpha lock, and then duplicate it if I want. I keep adding strands of hair to make it more intricate and detailed. I keep going back and making more features more prominent if I want them to, defining and making sure that the sketch lines that I want are as perfect as I need. At this point, I turn off my guidelines because I no longer really need them. And before color happens, I go in and I make sure that everything is exactly how I would like it, even if I have to erase certain things before. Underneath all of those layers that you put all the details, I then start the color. I like to do this method where I blob certain colors and tones and shades of different colors in places that I think would be where the lights and shadows hit on a face. This is where it's really important to kind of understand where lights and shadows happen on faces. They're very unique and it's very distinct. In essence, I put shadow underneath the nose and kind of on the side of one part of the face, wherever I decide where my shadows and lights are going to be coming from. For the lips specifically, I blob in one specific color and then I try to blend it out onto the surrounding area of the skin. Lips are kind of hard because you really want them to blend into the skin. Once I have all that color blobbed, I alpha lock the layer and then I start blending in all those colors. As I work that color in and blend it into each other, I make kind of a smooth, plasticky looking skin tone, which isn't always the best. But we're doing this so we can lay out where we want our planned shadows and lights to be. It also creates a nice base for a lot of that change and natural looking skin texture that we want if we want realistic skin. I keep editing and adding more shadows and different highlights on the face to make it look less plasticky and a little bit more alive. I work in more colors and more highlights and really shape the features of the face. Specifically, the nose is really hard because you want the nose in a specific shape, and sometimes it takes a lot of layers and a lot of different manipulating where the shadows are to get the right shape. As you can see through this, I am working the nose and it is going through many different stages and trying to get the perfect shape that I would like. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, sometimes it takes just completely redoing it and then editing where the shadows and stuff are. But that's fine, keep working on it. As you can see, finally the nose is starting to get kind of where I like it. I keep adding more highlights, and then under the skin, I add the base color of the whites of the eyes, and then on top of that, the color of the irises. And then I keep working different colors in. Just like the nose, the eye is going to go through a lot of different transformations. It's not going to be perfect. You got to keep adding color, textures, etc. Keep adding distinct shadows on top of your skin to make it look more realistic. As you can see, this piece is almost done. I use this method for this piece and all the different other pieces. So stay tuned for more, and I hope this helped. Bye!